initiate any contact with any arresting officers. You're not to possess any weapons. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to provide court proof of your local address, and you're to contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Your next court date on this case is a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on July the 1st at 8:30 in the Superior Court. Your other case is another probation violation. On that case, the judge also set a secured appearance bond in the amount of $10,000. The release conditions are exactly the same as your court date of July the 1st. Do you have any questions, sir?
No, sir.
All right, thank you, sir. We step back there.
Appreciation.
Mr. Cuevas will be followed by Robert Perez. Cesar Cuevas. Sir, please state your name.
Cesar Dario Cuevas Jr.
Okay. And your date of birth.
7/4/1991.
All right, sir, you're here on three cases, the first of which, number 6 on the calendar, is a probation violation for a Class 6 felony. It's order appointing the public defender to represent you. On this case, bond has been set in the amount of $250. If you post the bond, you're not to initiate any contact with any arresting officers. You're not to possess any weapons. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to provide court proof of your local address. You're also to contact the probation department within 72 hours of your release. Your next court date on this case is a probation revocation arraignment hearing, possible disposition hearing on July the 1st at 8:30 in the Downtown Superior Court. Number 7 is another probation violation for a Class 6 felony. On this case, the release conditions are the same as is appointing the public defender. The bond on this case is also $250, and your court date is also July the 1st at 8:30. Lastly, you have a municipal court warrant out of the Surprise Municipal Court on the charges of DUI. The court has found you to be indigent. Counsel will be appointed at the next court date in the municipal court. Bond on this case has been set in the amount of $500. The release conditions are the same. Your court date is also July the 1st, but it's at 1:30 in the afternoon in the Surprise Municipal Court. Do you have any questions about these cases, sir?
No.
Okay, thank you, sir. You can step back there. Robert Perez will be followed by Joseph Elliott. Sir, please state your name.
Robert Perez, 41281.
All right, so you've been charged with 6 counts of aggravated domestic violence, Class 5 felonies, 6 counts of violating an order of protection, Class 1 misdemeanors, 1 count of aggravated harassment, a Class 6 felony.
God damn, dude.
The court has found probable cause as to those charges. The court has found you to be indigent. It's ordered appointing the public defender. On this case, your bond has been set as a cash-only bond of $50,000. If you post the bond, you'd also be subject to pretrial supervision with electronic monitoring to be installed before you're released.
Wow, dude.
If you post the bond, you're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime. You have absolutely no contact whatsoever with the alleged victim.
Who's the victim?
The victim is the person who has an order of protection against you, that you repeatedly are on Ring camera at their front door.
That's my house, sir.
Well,
I pay rent there. It's my home. What am I supposed to do?
There's a valid order of protection against you. You cannot go to a place where there's...
On 2023, I was served with that. It was over. I have never been served after that. It was only valid for 1 year. We got back together. It's only been valid for 1 year. I've never been served again with an order of protection. This is all. She set me up with this one, dude. I don't know. There's no valid order of protection. We've been living with each other for the last 2 years.
Okay. That's something you can bring up with your attorney, but bond has been set, as I've indicated.
Wow, dude.
First of all, I'm not dude. I'm your honor or judge, but that's a whole other issue concerning respect. Your next court date is a status conference on July the 2nd at 8:30 with a preliminary hearing on July the 7th.
Fuck, dude.
Okay, you're done.
No, whatever.
Step back over there. Joseph Elliott will be followed by Roberto Estrella. Sir, please state your name.
Joseph Louis Elliott.
And your date of birth, sir.
6/10/87.
Thank you, sir. All right, sir, you're here on a probation violation for a Class 6 felony. It's ordered appointing the public defender to represent you. The bond in this case was set in the amount of $250. It's a secured appearance bond. If you post the bond, you're not to initiate any contact with the arresting officers, you're not to possess any weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription, not driving without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to provide court with proof of your local address, and you're to contact your probation officer within 72 hours of your release. Your next court date is a probation revocation arraignment hearing, possible disposition hearing on July the 1st at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. The other case is also a probation violation warrant. Once again, it's ordered appointing the public defender to represent you. In this case, there's also a secured appearance bond in the amount of $250. The release conditions are exactly the same as far as the no weapons, no drugs. The court date is also July the 1st at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. Do you have any questions, sir?
No, sir.
All right, thank you, sir. You can step right back over there. Mr. Estrella will be followed by Rene Lopez. Sir, please state your name.
My name is Robert Aaron Estrella, Honorable Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Sir, you're here on 3 separate cases. The first, at number 19, is a new case charging you with 1 count of burglary in the 3rd degree, a Class 4 felony, 1 count of possessing dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony, 1 count of possessing a weapon by a prohibited possessor, Class 4 felony, 1 count of theft, a Class 6 felony, and 1 count of drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony. The court has found probable cause as to those charges. The court has found you to be indigent. It's ordered appointing the public defender to represent you. On this case, there's been a secured appearance bond set in the amount of $5,000. If you post the bond, you're not to initiate any contact with the arresting officers, you're not to possess any weapons, you're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to provide the court with proof of your local address, and you must contact the probation department within 72 hours of your release. Your next court date on this case is a status conference on July the 2nd at 8:30 with a possible preliminary hearing on July the 7th. Number 31 is a probation violation for a Class 3 felony. Bond on that case has been set in the amount of $500. The release conditions otherwise are the same. Your court date is a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on July the 1st at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. Number 32 is another probation violation for Class 6 felony. Once again, it's ordered appointing the public defender. The release conditions are the same. Bond on this case is also $500, and your court date is also July the 1st at 8:30. Do you have any questions about these 3 cases, sir?
Absolutely not, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, sir. You step back over there. Rene Lopez will be followed by Edward Lee.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Ma'am, please state your name
Renee Lopez,
and your date of birth.
April 15th, 1983, tax day.
Okay. Ma'am, you're here on a warrant. It's an out-of-county warrant out of the Navajo County Superior Court, charging you with possessing dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony, and drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. At this point, the court is not going to appoint counsel. That will be up to the Navajo County Superior Court. The judge did set a bond when they issued the warrant out of Navajo County. It's a secured appearance bond of $500. If you post the bond, you're not to initiate any contact with any arresting officers. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to provide court with proof of your local address. Your next court date on this case will be an arraignment hearing in the Navajo County Superior Court on July the 2nd at 8:30. Do you have any questions, ma'am?
Yeah, Your Honor, I was wondering if you could just drop the case because I actually got raped by a truck driver that I stole this drug drug from, and I gave it to a lady, and the lady ended up calling the cops on me, and I was the one that got charged with it.
Yeah, I don't have any jurisdiction whatsoever in Navajo County. That's something the judge...
Well, there was a report on the truck driver as well, too,
Okay.
for the rape incident.
And once again, we're in Maricopa County. This is a Navajo County warrant. The only thing I can really do is send you back to Navajo County. I can't dismiss a Navajo County case. And I couldn't even dismiss a Maricopa County case without a motion from the county.
So, although I have a warrant on it, am I getting it expedited to Navajo County now?
Yes.
To be able to, okay.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. You can step back over
Thank
there.
you.
Edward Lee will be followed by Tisha Henderson. Sir, please state your name
Edward Lee,
and your date of birth.
8/27/1990.
Okay, sir, you're here on the charges of possessing narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, robbery, a Class 4 felony, organized retail theft, a Class 4 felony, and possession of drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony. The court has found probable cause as to those counts. The court has found you to be indigent. It's ordered appointing the public defender to represent you. On this case, there's been a secured appearance bond set in the amount of $3,600. If you post the bond, you're not to return to the store where this happened. You're not to have any contact with any victim or witness. You're not to initiate any contact with any arresting officers. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to provide court proof of your local address. Your next court date on this case will be a status conference on July the 2nd at 8:30 with a possible preliminary hearing on July the 7th. So your next court date is July the 2nd in the Downtown Superior Court. Do you have any questions?
No.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, Henderson will be followed by Eddie Bosworth. Ma'am, if you could step up to the podium and tell me your name and date of birth, please.
Jasia Henderson, 1986.
All right, ma'am, you're here on two cases. The first, number 21 on the calendar, is a new charge, charging you with theft, a Class 2 felony. On this case, the court has found you to be indigent. It's ordered appointing the public defender to represent you. On this case, there's been a secured appearance bond set in the amount of $7,500. If you post the bond, you're not to initiate any contact with any arresting officers. You're not to possess any weapons. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to provide court proof of your local address. And because you're currently on probation, you're to contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Your next court date on this case is a status conference on July the 2nd at 8:30 in the Downtown Superior Court with a possible preliminary hearing of July the 7th. Number 33 is a probation violation for a Class 6 felony. Once again, it's ordered appointing the public defender. The bond on this case is $500. It's a secured appearance bond. The release conditions are otherwise the same. Your court date on this is a probation revocation arraignment hearing, possible disposition hearing on July the 1st at 8:30. Do you have any questions, ma'am?
No.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Just step right back over there. Mr. Bosworth will be followed by Selena Fernandez.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir. Please tell me your name and date of birth.
Edward Bosworth, June 15th, 1964.
All right, sir, you're here on two cases. The new case, number 22, is a charge of possessing dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony, possessing drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony.
Yeah, it's not my stuff. I just ended up in a bag I was holding. Yeah, the other case is about a 3-year-old case, and I had an injury at work for Gettle Air Conditioning, and I had an injury, and I've been working through that workman's comp case. I've had 2 or 3 surgeries, and that's the reason I missed my date on that. I had a bone infection. I had to go to the hospital for 4 months and get intravenous IVs and so forth. And you know, I'm ready to start addressing that stuff. I've been rehabbing my body for like it's been 3 years since I got hurt, and I'm really able to get back into work now.
Okay.
Still have a spine injury I'm dealing with.
And I appreciate all that, sir. But and looking at your history and looking at the charges, the court has found probable cause as to those charges. On this case, the new case, bond has been set as a secured appearance bond of $1,200. If you post the bond, you're not to initiate any contact with the arresting officers, you're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription, or drive without a valid driver's license. You have to continue to provide court proof of your local address. Your next court date on this case will be a status conference on July the 2nd at 8:30 in the Superior Court with a possible preliminary hearing on July the 7th. I think I stated on the record, but if not, I did appoint the public defender. On number 23, this is a municipal court warrant out of the Peoria Municipal Court on the charges of harassment, a Class 1 misdemeanor. On this case, the judge said when they issued the warrant, a bond of $250. I'm affirming that bond. Counsel will be appointed at the next court date for limited representation regarding the bond issue. The release conditions are the same. Your court date is July the 1st at 9 a.m. as an arraignment in the Peoria Municipal Court. Do you have any questions, sir?
Yeah, I want to know if you would make the $1,200 bond something more I could afford. You know, I haven't been working and stuff, and I am teaching an air conditioning class on Monday nights as a volunteer, and I'm taking care of both of my granddaughters because both of my kids work at Pepsi all day, so I'm the babysitter all day, and that enables them to work. So I'm kind of an important piece of the puzzle there. Now I'm not violent. I haven't been causing problems. This warrant's from 3 years ago. I haven't even seen that person since then.
Sir, you have a number of prior felony convictions.
Yeah, I know. And I've been doing great. Those are all in the past. Everything's at least 10 years old, and I got...
Because you have 5 prior felony convictions, 3 of those are what we consider forever priors in Arizona.
I got a probation. I got out of prison in 2019, and I haven't had a single incident. I've been on probation 5 years, and I just paid $12,000 and paid off all my fines, my restitution to my victims. I just paid all that off diligently to the court. So I'm showing a willingness to cooperate and do what I'm supposed to do.
I appreciate that, sir, but a $1,200 bond, given your criminal history, is at the very, very low end.
I got to come up with $250 for the other one, and that's going to be hard enough as it is.
Okay. Well, sir, I've set the bonds, and they can't.
Could you cut them in half for me, please?
No, sir.
Okay, and is it a cash-only bond?
No, both are secured appearance bonds.
Okay, what's the deal with those?
You can go through a bonding company. Generally, you can put down 10%.
Yeah.
And some type of collateral for the rest.
Okay.
Okay, you step right over there.
Thank you, sir.
Ms. Fernandez will be followed by Christopher Balke. Ma'am, please state your name and date of birth.
Selena Fernandez, 8/17/87.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, you're here on a probation violation warrant out of the Superior Court in Maricopa County. Counsel's already been appointed on this case. There's been a secured appearance bond set in the amount of $1,000. If you post the bond, you're not to initiate any contact with the arresting officers. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You're also not to possess any weapons. You'd also be required to contact your probation officer within 72 hours of your release. Your next court date is a probation revocation arraignment hearing, possible disposition hearing on July the 1st at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. Do you have any questions, ma'am?
No.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Step right over there. Mr. Balke, we followed by Lauren Winter. Sir, please state your name.
Christopher Balkan,
And your date of birth, sir.
September 26, 1995.
All right, thank you, sir. Sir, you're here on a warrant out of the Mojave County Superior Court. You've been charged with, looks like a grand jury indictment, of assisting a street gang, riot, and aggravated assault, all felony offenses. The grand jury, when they indicted you, set a bond of $50,000. That's a secured appearance bond. If you post the bond, you're not to initiate any contact with any arresting officers, no drugs without a valid prescription, no driving without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to provide court proof of your local address. Your next court date on this case will be an arraignment hearing in the Mojave County Superior Court on July the 1st at 8:30. Excuse me, sir, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I was hoping to have the bond lowered or released on my own recognizance.
On an out-of-county warrant, I really have no jurisdiction. The grand jury said it. When you go to court, you can ask them to do that, and they would have jurisdiction to do that. We'll be going to court next week, sir.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Lauren Winter will be followed by Alex Foster. Your name, please,
Lauren Winter,
and your date of birth.
061192.
Okay, ma'am, you're here on two cases, the first of which is a warrant out of the Arrowhead Justice Court. And it looks like they're saying it's a probation violation. The court has found you to be indigent. It's sort of appointing the public defender for the limited purpose regarding the bond issue. I've set a bond in the amount of $500, which is lower than what the Justice Court was asking for, but I can't set any lower than that. So $500 secured appearance bond. If you post the bond, you're not to be in contact with any arresting officers. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to provide court with proof of your local address. Your next court date will be an arraignment hearing on July the 1st at 8:30 in the Arrowhead Justice Court. The second case is a new case of driving on a suspended license, a Class 1 misdemeanor. Based upon the nature of the charges, I'm not appointing counsel. On this case, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. You just have the bond on the one case of $500. Other than that, the release conditions are the same. Your court date on this will be a arraignment hearing on July the 10th at 8:30 in the El Centro Justice Court.
There's no way you can take away the bond at all on my own consciousness?
I can't. I made it less than a third of what they were asking for, which is really, I can't.
Because I didn't know I had a probation. I didn't know I was on it, and there's no probation officer listed. I didn't know I was on probation, and I changed addresses. I didn't even get a warrant out for my arrest. I didn't.
Okay, when you were sentenced on that, they would have told you that you were on probation.
No, I didn't know I was on probation.
Okay.
I really didn't.
Well, ma'am, I can't.
Is it like an unsupervised?
Ma'am, I can't set a bond lower than I said.
Okay. But is it,
I released you on your own recognizance on the other case.
Right, okay.
So
I don't know how bonds work, because I never,
okay. You can do one of two things on a bond. It's a secured appearance bond, so generally you can go through a bonding company and put down 10% in collateral for the rest, or you can just put the entire amount, pay the entire amount, $500, either through cash. Most some courts will also take credit cards. If you pay it yourself, the entire $500, as long as you make your court date, you get the money back. If you use a bonding company, generally they take 10% as a fee, which you never get back.
okay, so I have to pay the Arrowhead Justice Court,
Yes.
the bond, and then I can get released?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Great, thank you.
Alex Foster will be followed by Harry Swenson. Sir, state your name, please,
Alex Foster,
and your date of birth.
November 22nd, 2006.
So you're here on a new case of shoplifting as a Class 1 misdemeanor. The court found probable cause. Based upon the nature of the charges, you're not entitled to an attorney on this case. On this case, since it's a Class 1 misdemeanor, you are being released on your own recognizance. If you, you are going to be released. You're not to return to the scene of alleged crime. You're not to initiate contact with the arresting officers. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to provide court proof for your local address. Your next court date will be an arraignment hearing on July the 16th at 1 p.m. in the Goodyear Municipal Court. Do you have any questions, sir?
No, Your Honor.
All right, you can step right over there, sir. Harry Swenson will be followed by, Owen Ogusi. Your name, sir?
Harry Swenson.
Date of birth, sir?
6/15/68.
All right, sir. You've been charged with aggravated assault, Class 3 felony. The court has found probable cause. The court's found you to be indigent. It's ordered appointing the public defender to represent you. On this case, you're going to be released to pretrial services. You'll need to keep in contact with them and follow all of their directions. You will not need to post a bond.
Thank you, Your
I'm going to go over some of your release conditions with you. You're not to initiate contact with any arresting officers. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to provide court or proof for your local address. Your next court date will be a status conference on July the 10th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court with a possible preliminary hearing on July the 14th. So, sir, you need to make sure you contact pretrial services. You'll be given an envelope about how to do that. Make sure you make your court date on July the 10th. Do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, step right over there, sir. All right. Yeah, I'm probably mispronounced your last name, sir, but if you could step up to the podium and tell me your name and date of birth.
Yeah, my name is Owen Agansui, 1205-2000. You were close enough.
All right. All right, sir, you're charged with disorderly conduct, a Class 6 felony. The court has found probable cause. The court has found you to be indigent. It's ordered appointing the public defender to represent you. On your case, you're going to be released to pretrial services. You just need to make sure you contact them and follow their directions.
Would that be going down to the downtown building and doing the ankle monitor thing?
No ankle monitor. It's just basically you call them, and if they tell you to come in, you come in, but there's no electronic monitor.
Okay, okay.
But you'll be given an envelope about how to do that. I'm going to go over some of your release conditions. You're not to initiate any contact with any arresting officers. You're not to possess any weapons. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to provide court proof for your local address, and you must submit to fingerprinting. Your next court date will be a status conference on July the 10th at 8:30 with a possible preliminary hearing on July the 14th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. So, sir, make sure you contact pretrial services. Make sure you make your court date on the 10th. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, you step right over there, sir. Michael Tatum.
How you doing, Your Honor?
Good morning, sir. Tell me your name and date of birth.
Michael Tatum, 3286.
All right, sir. A warrant has been issued for your arrest from another state.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, I was arrested here last year. Right now I'm on a $25,000 bond where I had to put up my property and put down cash. I'm to do 120 days, turn myself in on July 18th here to do 120 days. And the judge on that case, Judge Cairo, she gave me until the 18th to get everything in order with my family and stuff because we did just move out here to turn myself in on the 18th to go do the time. So I did read the manuscript that he gave me for the extradite, and I would rather have them do the 90-day to get the governor's writ in order for them, because like I said, I'm currently still out on bail here.
All right. So you've made the choice to set this for an extradition hearing, and that's fine. That's absolutely your right. So I'll set a hearing. There'll be no attorney appointed because extradition is considered civil in nature. I do have to set a bond on this case. So let me just look over them. Let me just check one thing on your other case.
Can I say one more thing, please, Judge?
Yeah, go ahead. I can listen to you while I'm looking this up.
During this time that I had made bond, the extradition, they had did a nationwide check here at the jail, at the county jail, and I didn't have no extradition holds or anything. They had released me here, and I've been here since then, making all my court dates, doing everything that I had to do up until this time that I just got pulled over, not on no new charge or anything.
Okay. First of all, it doesn't look like you've entered into any type of plea agreement on the other case. You have a trial setting on August the 26th. The judge allowed you to return and live in California, according to this. And that was on May the 5th. Let me check one other thing. Okay. All right, on this case, because of the other case, I'm going to set a bond much lower than we would normally set on a fugitive of justice. But on this case, there's going to be a secured appearance bond set in the amount of $10,000. Your next court date will be a fugitive of justice hearing on July the 7th at 1:30 in the afternoon in the downtown Superior Court. If you do post the bond, you're not to possess any weapons, you're not to have any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You'll continue to provide court with proof of your local address. Okay. You'll need to print out the, you'll need to print this out. I just did the release on it. Okay. So that's really the best I can do in this case.
I understand, sir.
All right.
I appreciate it.
The officer will give you some paperwork in just a second as soon as my clerk prints it off.
Okay.
Are we doing the Spanish one first and then the Mandarin? Okay.
And their families, including communities.
All right, do we have an interpreter on the line?
Interpreter here on the line.
Okay. Pedro Martin. All right, now you can start interpreting.
Sí.
Sir, please tell us your name.
Señor, por favor, díganos su nombre.
Pedro Martín Martín.
Pedro Martín Martín.
And is your date of birth February 15th of 2004?
Y su fecha de nacimiento es febrero 15 del 2004.
Sí, correcto.
Yes, correct.
Sir, you've been charged with possessing narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, and resisting arrest, a Class 1 misdemeanor.
Muy bien, señor. Entonces, a usted le están presentando cargos por posesión de narcóticos, de drogas, en delito grave, y también resistencia al arresto, clase 1.
I have appointed the public defender to represent you on this case.
Ya le hemos puesto de igual manera a un defensor público representante que lo está representando en su caso.
You are going to be released to pretrial services. You will need to keep in contact with them.
Usted va a estar siendo liberado entonces con servicios antes del juicio y usted va a estar en contacto con ellos.
Sí, está bien.
That's okay.
You're not to initiate any contact with any arresting officers.
¿Usted no ha iniciado contacto con ninguno de los oficiales que lo arrestó?
You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription.
Usted no debe de tener posesión de ningún tipo de drogas sin ninguna receta válida.
And you will need to continue to provide court with proof of your local address.
Y usted tiene que continuar entonces brindando a la corte cualquier prueba de su dirección local.
Your next court date will be a status conference on July the 10th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court.
Su próxima corte se va a llevar a cabo en una conferencia entonces del Estado, va a ser en julio 10 a las 8:30 y eso va a ser en el centro del Tribunal Superior.
Sir, make sure you contact pretrial services when you get out and make your court date on July the 10th.
Asegúrese usted entonces de poderse contactar con los servicios previo al juicio para que usted pueda estar en esa fecha de la corte que va a ser en julio 10.
Do you have any questions?
¿Pregunta que usted tenga?
Pues, ¿cómo puedo contactar con ellos? ¿O cómo?
How can I get in contact with them?
You'll be given an envelope with directions about how to contact them.
A usted le van a dar un sobre con las direcciones y cómo se puede contactar con ellos.
Ok, está bien.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you for interpreting for us, sir.
Pues, es un gusto. Thank you, Your Honor. Take care. Thank you so much for coming. I'm Rich. Bye-bye.
Hey. Yeah. Excellent. Okay. Good. This is Commissioner Peterson, IE Court. Are you ready to be sworn in on your warrant? Do you swear affirm the information contained in the warrant and affidavit is true and correct to the best of your personal knowledge, information, and belief? All right, I'll grant the motion, or grant the search warrant, so good luck. You don't have to get the guy, we can do a house call.
Okay. Sure? Okay.
It'll be easier. Yes, ma'am, I am.
Changing child support or setting aside a previous...
All right. Do it. What? Okay. Do we have an interpreter on the line?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Are you committing interpreting now? Sir, please tell me your name.
我请问你的名字？
张继雄。
张敬祥英文怎么讲
Zen 吉凶。
？First name is 敬祥 ，last name is 张。
And is your date of birth March 14th of 2005?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're here on the charges of fraudulent schemes, a Class 2 felony.
”你被控告是有关那个卖淫、
诈骗。
One count of theft, a Class 3 felony.
总共3个重罪。
And one count of assisting a criminal syndicate, a Class 4 felony. Did you hear that last charge of assisting a criminal syndicate, a Class 4 felony?
Yeah, I heard it.
Are you still online, Madam Interpreter?
Yes.
Okay. Can you interpret the assisting a criminal syndicate, a Class 4 felony?
I understand, sir.
Ma'am, are you hearing me?
被指控的团队。
你被指控有团队。
All right. The grand jury has set a bond of $100,000 on this case.
喂
，10万的保释金。
最高法院说你有这金额是10万美金。
All right. Did you interpret the $100,000 bond, ma'am?
Yes, 100,000， 10万美金，金额是10万美金。
All right. Your next court date will be a not guilty arraignment on July the 2nd at 8:30.
喂，8点30，就是会判这个是有罪或无罪。
Sir, do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for interpreting for us.
Thank you for calling Arbitration for your needs. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
The interpreter has disconnected. To reconnect with your interpreter, press or say 1. To connect with a new interpreter, press or say 2. To select a different language, press or say 3. To connect with an operator, press or say 4. End this call now. Press or say 5. Goodbye.
Yes?
Oh.
I wasn't sure which order you wanted it, so I said every officer has their own way to set up. A lot of times they go in alphabetical order because it's just easier. That's okay, that's great, but that means you just go down and then find it. Or the processing. Yeah, go to processing, let's see, classification, dress, medical, classification, besides the classification. A little about their history, I think, has been put here in the state, other states. You will see all that stuff, those are whole record, so what their classification level is.
When you guys come in, you all right, and you can get up. Put your shirt on, get it off your head, guys, get up, wake up.
Make sure everything's dressed out, everything's very good.
I'm talking all of you.
Take them on transportation, transport.
All right.
Be seated.
Oh, yeah.
I've always just been here for you.
We have no Spanish speakers? I didn't see any, Can't hear you. One just popped up, a Spanish speaker. So then can we get an interpreter?
Good morning. The interpreter is on the line here.
Mr. Rodriguez would prefer Spanish.
All right, I'm gonna, this is the 8 a.m. initial appearance calendar. I'm gonna call you in individually. You'll state your name and date of birth. I will tell you what you've been booked on and whether an attorney has been appointed to represent you. I'm also gonna give you the date of your next court appearance. I will let you know whether you're eligible for a bond or not. If it's a secured bond, that means you can go through a bonding company. Phone numbers for the various bonding companies are located in the jail area. You can call any one of them. They will accept collect calls. I'm also going to tell you if I've set any release conditions, like no contact with the alleged victim or no going back to the alleged scene of the crime. You must follow each and every condition if you want to remain released. Let me remind you, if you've been ordered by a court not to have contact with the victim and then you do so, you may be charged with an additional felony. Now, when you come into the courtroom, please be aware this is all being video recorded. So do not talk about the facts of your case, as you have the right to remain silent. As you leave the courtroom, court staff's going to give you your paperwork. It's going to show you your charges, if you were appointed an attorney, where, when, what time your next court date is. That'll be on your paperwork. Whether you're eligible for a bond and all your release conditions. Purpose of this hearing is to determine whether you're eligible for a bond or not. That decision is based on your past criminal history, any failures to appear, your current charges, and Arizona law. Do we have our interpreter yet?
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning.
Nope.
Hello,
And finally,
Your Honor,
for the
can you
record,
hear
the
me?
orders for fingerprinting and the taking of DNA samples that were made on the that were made on the first calendar
One,
of
two,
June
three,
2025 will apply to this calendar as well. Do
Hello,
our
can you hear
two
me?
DOJs have the paperwork?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can I have Rowan Kiley come on in? Justin Martin to the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Roland Kiley, December 4th, 1987.
Okay, you have two matters. The first one is a failure to appear warrant for one count of burglary in the third degree, class 4 felony, and one count of theft of a credit card, class 5 felony. These allegedly occurred June 9th of 2025. You already were appointed a lawyer. Your next hearing will be a status conference, July 2nd at 8:30. I've set a $900 bond. Now you've got a Superior Court new case alleging, wait a second, hopefully I had that right. I'm going to start over, sir, because I was on the wrong matter. 15. Okay. No, that was all right. Burglary and theft of a credit card. Okay. Then your second matter is the Superior Court new case. This alleges one count of possession of dangerous drugs, class 4 felony, one count of possession of drug paraphernalia, class 6 felony. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference, July 2nd at 8:30. I'm also setting an evidentiary hearing for July 3rd at 1:30. So Arizona has a criminal rule of procedure. It's 4.2A7A. If you're out on release on a felony, like you were on the first case we talked about, the burglary and the theft of a credit card, and you allegedly commit a new felony, which is this one, possession of dangerous drugs and drug paraphernalia possession, you cannot bond out. You're non-bondable. But you and your attorney, you get to challenge that. That's going to happen at that evidentiary hearing that I've set for the July the 3rd at 1:30. Okay? Get your paperwork from the court staff. Justin Martin, come on in. Anthony Brito to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Justin Martin, 10/29/1998.
You have a Superior Court new case alleging one count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon or dangerous instrument, class 3 felony, one count of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, class 4 felony, one count of obstruction, refusing to give a true name. I also received, reviewed, and considered a victim statement in this case. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference July 2nd at 8:30. I've set up $50,000 bond.
$50,000 bond?
Yep.
I can't get released on OR?
No, you've got pretty high class felonies. And you were allegedly possessing a weapon when you're not supposed to, and you have a prior felony. That's pretty serious.
I'm off probation, though.
Pardon?
I'm off for probation. I'm not on nothing.
Doesn't matter. You still, once you're a felon, you can't possess a weapon unless you get your rights restored.
I'm saying,
Never.
all right.
You cannot return to the alleged scene of the crime, no possessing of any weapons. You can go through a bonding company. It's not a cash bond.
It's not a cash bond?
It is not.
So it's just pretty much I can't get out.
Well, you can go through a bonding company. All right? Get your paperwork.
Good morning, Your Honor. Can you hear me?
Do we have our interpreter on?
Yes, Your Honor. Can you hear me? Hello?
I'm not hearing anything, although I don't have Teams up. Do I need Teams?
Yes, the interpreter is on Teams.
Interpreter?
Yeah, hello, Your Honor. Can you hear me? Hello?
All right, let's have Anthony Brito come on in. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Anthony Robert Brito, July 23rd, 1997.
You have a Superior Court new case alleging one kind of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon or dangerous instrument, class 4 felony, one kind of disorderly conduct, class 1 misdemeanor. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference, July 2nd at 8:30, and I've set up $15,000 bond. If you post that, no contact with the alleged victim, no email, no texting, no calling somebody else to call them, no contact with any witnesses, and no possessing of any weapons. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Get your paperwork from the court staff.
Stacy, I gotta wait till it's all done.
Yeah.
Takes you back where you were.
I think we're hearing something, but
Hello? 1, 2, 3, testing. 1, 2, 3.
let me see. I'm trying to join. Camera, join now. Hello, interpreter?
Yes, good morning. Can you hear me? 1, 2, 3.
My interpreter? That doesn't sound good. Hello?
Hi, can you hear me? 1, 2, 3, test. 1, 2, 3, testing. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, test.
Hello?
Hello, Your Honor. Good morning. Good morning. 1, 2, 3.
I can
Test
hear her
1.
now, but
Oh, perfect. You can hear me now? Good morning.
good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Yours has to be. And your mic has.
Maria, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Good morning. Hello.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm happy that you can hear me now.
Yep. All right, we need, let's see, is there Spanish? Giovanni Rodriguez, come in the courtroom, please. And interpreter, can you announce for the record?
Maria Jose Orduno, Spanish interpreter.
All right, we're going to get started right now. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Giovanni Rodriguez.
Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Si puede, por favor, decir su nombre completo.
Giovanni Rodriguez.
Giovanni Rodríguez.
Date of birth.
Fecha de nacimiento.
Mayo 31 del 2001.
May 31st, 2001.
Sir, you're here on a Superior Court arrest warrant.
Usted está aquí debido a una orden de arresto que fue emitida por el Tribunal Superior.
Alleging one count of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person.
En donde se alega el primer cargo de que estaba portando una arma, una persona prohibida en portar una.
2 counts of possession of narcotic drug.
2 cargos por posesión de una droga narcótica.
1 count of possession of dangerous drugs.
Un cargo de posesión de una droga peligrosa.
Those are all class 4 felonies.
Todos esos mencionados anteriormente son delitos mayores clase 4.
1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia, a class 6 felony.
Un cargo de posesión de accesorios relacionados a drogas, esa es clase 6, delito mayor.
And 1 count of carrying a deadly weapon, failure to admit, a class 1 misdemeanor.
Y un cargo por portar un arma mortífera y por no admitirlo. Eso es un delito menor clase 1.
I've appointed a lawyer to represent you.
He nombrado a un abogado para que lo represente.
Your next hearing will be a status conference, July 2nd at 8:30.
Y su siguiente fecha de audiencia, que va a ser una audiencia para saber sobre el estado de su caso, va a ser fijada para el 2 de julio a las 8:30.
I've set a $25,000 bond.
Voy a fijar una fianza de $25,000.
If you post that bond, you've got a long list of conditions you're going to have to follow.
Si usted llega a pagar esa fianza, usted tiene una lista muy larga de condiciones que usted debe de cumplir si sale en libertad.
I'm going to tell you, it looks like you have a federal hold.
Y parece ser que usted tiene una detención federal.
Get your paperwork from the court staff.
Usted puede recoger sus documentos aquí del personal.
And then, interpreter, can you ask if anyone else needs your assistance? And if they do so, have them raise their hand.
Of course. ¿Alguien más necesita la asistencia de un intérprete de español? Y si es así, pueden levantar su mano si alguien necesita al intérprete, por favor.
Is that guy raising his hand? The one in the orange, not that one, the guy behind him. We might have a couple takers for your services.
Okay.
Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Diga su nombre y su fecha de nacimiento.
I can't hear you. I got bad hearing.
Okay, interpreter,
Sorry.
you're gonna have to speak very loud because he's saying he can't hear it.
¿Cuál
Sir,
es
state your name and date of birth.
¿Cuál es su nombre y su fecha de nacimiento? Señor, ¿cuál es su nombre? I don't think he's a Spanish speaker, Your Honor. I don't think he was even able to hear my announcement.
Is he Spanish?
Sorry. Yeah, I can't hear that. I can't hear at all.
Espanol?
Really bad. My son had to push a Q-tip into my eardrum.
Do you speak
That's the
Spanish?
inside drum and the outside drum.
Do you need a Spanish interpreter?
What was that?
Do you need a Spanish interpreter?
No.
No, okay, go sit down.
Okay.
Not yet.
Was the other guy behind him in the
he's all
orange?
good, yeah.
Yes?
No one else.
No one? Do you need, anybody else need a Spanish interpreter?
¿Alguien más necesita un intérprete de español?
No.
No. Okay, thank you so much.
Have a good day. Goodbye.
You too. We did Mr. Brito, right? Because none of these are closed out, so I don't know where we're at. Are we at Ricardo? Ricardo Carbajal? Ricardo Carbajal?
All right, so no one ready?
That might be him. Ricardo Carbajal?
Ricardo Carvajal.
Do we have the headphones for him? And then Robert Arnold to the chair outside the courtroom.
Jesus Carvajal, 11/26/1966.
You're here on a Superior Court new case alleging 1 count of resisting arrest, Class 6 felony, 1 count of disobeying an order of the court, Class 1 misdemeanor. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing is going to be a status conference July 2nd at 8:30. And I've set a $2,000 bond. If you post that bond, you are not to go back to the alleged scene of the crime and no contact with the alleged victim.
May I say something?
Yes?
No, I'm hard of hearing, and my hearing, my reading's not as good either. And I did not understand the paperwork that they gave me. And I did not hear the officer say anything about going back or anything like that. If he did say it, I didn't hear him. It was simply a misunderstanding that I went back over there. I did not know.
Okay, well, you can talk with your lawyer about that. I don't want you to say things while this is being recorded about the facts of your case.
Okay.
But you can talk with your lawyer, but you have it written down right now in your paperwork. Every time you go to court, you're going to get paperwork. And it says you can't go back there.
Okay.
And you allegedly went back there.
Yes, I did.
So you can talk to your lawyer about it.
All right.
Does he have his paperwork now?
No, we're still waiting for her to get caught up.
Okay.
I'll bring it to you in a minute, okay? Go sit down.
Robert Arnold, come on in. Andrew Schubert to the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Robert Samuel Arnold, 9/15/94.
You have a Superior Court probation violation warrant for your probation that you're on for a Class 6 felony.
Okay.
Probation is alleging you violated Term 1. You got new charges.
Okay.
I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, July 2nd at 8:30. I've set a $2,000 bond.
Why do you say possible disposition? May I ask what that means?
Yeah. So If you go to court on the 2nd, and you work out an agreement with the county attorney and your probation officer, then you might be able to then go to what we would call a sentencing, but with probation it's called a disposition. And the judge can either revoke your probation, reinstate your probation, they can maybe give you a couple days, months, whatever, in jail. That means that you would find out the consequences for what it would be if you violated your probation.
Okay. May I ask what the charge is against me that violated my probation?
The term 1 that you got?
Yes, ma'am.
It says that you got charged with criminal damage.
Okay.
Okay. All right, get your paperwork from the court, staff.
I'll bring it to you in a minute.
Andrew Schubert, come on in. Robert Gonzalez to the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Andrew Schubert, 4/11/1973.
You have a Superior Court arrest warrant alleging unlawful means of transportation as a passenger, Class 6 felony. This allegedly occurred March 10th of this year. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference, July 2nd at 8:30. I've set a $1,000 bond. No contact with your co-defendant, okay? Get your paperwork from the court staff. Probably get it over here. Step over here. Robert Gonzalez, come on in. Elijah Jackson to the chair outside the courtroom. Do I have Robert Gonzalez?
Gonzalez! Robert! Anthony, brief up.
Do we not have Mr. Gonzalez?
No, I gotta try to find this.
Elijah Jackson, come on in. Vonda Stevens to the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Elijah Jackson, May 19th, 86.
You have a Superior Court probation violation warrant for your probation that you're on for a Class 6 felony. Probation is alleging you violated term 3 and 5. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, July 2nd at 8:30, and I've set a $900 bond. If you post that bond, you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Get your paperwork from the court staff.
Your Honor, Robert's awake now.
All right, let's have Robert Gonzalez come on in. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Robert P. Gonzalez.
Date of birth?
1/9/1985.
You've got a Superior Court new case alleging one kind of possession of dangerous drugs, Class 4 felony, one kind of possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony, one kind of criminal trespass in the 3rd degree, Class 3 misdemeanor. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference, July 2nd at 8:30. I set a $1,000 bond. If you post that, you have a list of conditions you're going to have to follow.
Okay, are you familiar with the bills?
You what?
Are you familiar with the human bills, the rights?
I don't understand.
No.
Something about bills?
Yeah, the Human Bill of Rights. Are you familiar with them?
Well,
Because,
I'm familiar with the Bill of Rights.
Yeah, because I'm signature on some of them, and the 27th Bill of Rights
having a learning disability, I turn to medicine when I don't have my brain genetics. It's for comprehension, concentration, and
Sir, I'm going to urge you not talking about drug usage when you're on the record because that could be considered an admission. These are things that you should talk with your attorney about. Okay?
And,
get your paperwork from the court staff.
And one bill, code 1.
All right, Vonda Stevens, come on in. And Jennifer Chavez to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Gwendolyn Stevens, January 14th, 1971.
All right, you have 2 matters. The first one is a Superior Court arrest warrant alleging 1 count of possession of dangerous drugs, Class 4 felony, 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference, July 2nd at 8:30. The judge who signed the warrant sets your bond at $700. Now, you also have a Justice Court warrant from University Lakes Justice Court for 1 count of driving under the influence, liquor, drug, or vapors, and 1 count of driving under the influence, drugs, or metabolite. Those are both Class 1 misdemeanors. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, July 1st at 8:30, and I just set a $50 bond on that case. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Jennifer Chavez, come on in. Carlos Goodwin to the chair outside the courtroom. Jennifer Chavez.
Chavez. Are you Jennifer Chavez? To the podium.
And then Carlos Goodwin to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Jennifer Chavez, 22084.
All right, you have 2 matters. The first one is a municipal court new case for 1 count of obstruction, refusing to give a true name, Class 2 misdemeanor. I've appointed a lawyer for the limited representation regarding the bond issue. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, July 2nd at 8:30. I set a $50 bond on this. Then on the second matter that you have a Superior Court arrest warrant. This alleges 1 count of possession of dangerous drugs, 1 count of possession of narcotic drugs, both Class 4 felonies, 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. These occurred May 18th and January 5th of this year. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference, July 2nd at 8:30. I've set a $500 bond. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Carlos Goodwin, come on in. And Carlos Peterson to the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Carlos Antonio Goodwin, 6/14/78.
You've got a Superior Court probation violation warrant for your probation that you're on for a Class 6 felony. Probation is alleging you violated term 3 and 5. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, July 2nd at 8:30. I've set a $500 bond. If you post this bond, you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Carlos Peterson, come on in. And Donovan Ruiz Espinoza to the chair outside the courtroom. Carlos, come on in, behind the podium. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Carlos Diaz Peterson, Jr., 09/07/1999.
You have a probation violation warrant for your probation that you're on for a Class 1 misdemeanor. Probation is alleging you violated term 3 and 5. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, July 2nd at 8:30. I set a $250 bond. If you post that, you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Donovan, come on in. And then Danny Ivy to the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Donovan Edward Reese Espinosa, September 6, 1995.
Okay, you have a Santan Justice Court warrant for one kind of criminal trespass in the 3rd degree, Class 1 misdemeanor. I've appointed a lawyer for you for the limited purpose of regarding the bond issue only. Your next hearing is going to be an arraignment July 1st at 8:30. They had asked for a bond of $680. I reduced it to $100.
Okay. You said criminal, trespassing in Santan Valley?
I don't know the facts of the case. It's just a warrant. You're in Santan Justice Court. It's just the name of the Justice Court.
Oh.
Doesn't mean it happened in Santan Valley.
Oh, okay.
They just name all the Justice Courts different names.
Oh, so there's no trespassing?
It is criminal trespass, yeah. That's the charge that you have. Okay. It allegedly occurred December 26th of 2024.
What date was it, Miss Madam?
December 26th of last year. Talk to your lawyer. They can get the police reports and stuff, okay?
Okay, thank you, Miss Madam.
Danny Ivy, come on in. Isabel Sanchez Hernandez to the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Danny Lee Ivy, 12/4/89.
All right, you have two matters. They're both grand jury warrants, which means the grand jurors met, they heard testimony, they found probable cause. The first one is for theft of means of transportation, Class 3 felony. This allegedly occurred on October 27th of 2024. On the second one, the grand jury found probable cause on one count of theft of means of transportation, Class 3 felony. This allegedly occurred October 22nd of 2024. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you on both of these. Your next hearing is going to be an arraignment on July 2nd at 8:30. I'm also setting an evidentiary hearing for July 3rd at 1:30 because you were out on release on other felonies when these both occurred. You must be held non-bailable, but you will have a opportunity to challenge that with your attorney on the 3rd of July at 1:30.
Is there any way I can waive that hearing? He's gonna do it anyway.
You actually can't waive it because in order for you to be held no bond, the state has to prove a certain level of proof. So I can't let you waive it.
Right.
If they don't have a certain level of proof, then you get to have a bond or you get released.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
All right, get your paperwork from the court staff. Isabel Sanchez Hernandez, come on in.
Good morning, Your Honor.
And Amanda Garcia to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Isabel Sanchez Hernandez, date of birth is 2/23/81.
You have a Tolleson Municipal Court warrant for failure to obey a police officer, Class 2 misdemeanor. This allegedly occurred April 16th of this year. You'll have a lawyer appointed for you at your next hearing for limited representation regarding the bond issue. Your next hearing will be an arraignment July 7th at 8:30. They had asked for a bond of
$500.
$500. I reduced it to $50.
Okay.
All right? If you post that bond, you gotta go to court.
I will.
All
Because
right.
I've been incarcerated, Your Honor.
All right, get your paperwork from the court staff. Amanda Garcia, come on in. Lourdes Salcido to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Amanda Marie Garcia, September 9th, 1982.
Okay, you have a white tank justice court warrant for speeding over 20 miles per hour. That's a class 3 misdemeanor. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be in arraignment July 1st at 8:30. They had asked for a bond of $300. I reduced it to $50.
I have a question. Since I was incarcerated on June 3rd, the day I had the court hearing, that's why I missed it, because I got arrested that day. Can I either have my bond lowered or just count my back time?
Well, I did lower it to $50.
I'm sorry?
I did lower it to $50. Can you pay the $50?
I can, if it can be lowered, yeah.
Yeah, I lowered it already. They wanted $300. I just did $50.
Okay.
Can you do that?
Okay.
All right. And then don't miss your court hearing on July 1st.
Can the back time be counted since I've been arrested on June 3rd?
Can that time be what?
Since I've been arrested on June 3rd, can the back time be counted as?
You know what? I don't know. That's not in our court. These are misdemeanor courts, so you can tell the judge that.
Okay.
I mean, you haven't, I don't know if you've been found guilty or anything on this, so I don't know what's going to happen. You just have to go to court, and you can ask the judge about that. All right?
Okay.
All right. Good luck to you. Lourdes Salcido, come on in. Corey Brown to the chair outside the courtroom. Do we have Lourdes Salcido?
Come on, everybody, you need to wake up. This is court. Sit up and wake up and listen to your name, please. Podium.
State your name and date of birth.
Lourdes Salcido, 42476.
All right, you have an El Mirage Municipal Court warrant for one count of possession of drug paraphernalia, class 1 misdemeanor. I've appointed a lawyer for a limited representation regarding the bond issue. Your next hearing will be in arraignment July 7th at 10 a.m. And they had asked for a bond of $700. I reduced it to $50. Okay?
So I'm gonna pay the $50 today or in that?
If you pay $50, you can get bond out.
And if not, today, I need to stay here till that date of my...
You'll get out today unless you have other holds from other courts. This is the only thing I have.
$50 I gotta pay.
Pardon?
You said 50?
$50.
Okay.
Get your paperwork from the court staff.
Thank you.
Corey Brown, come on in. And Mackenzie Martin McCritchie to the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Corey Brown, January 6, 94.
You have a Superior Court new case alleging one count of attempted pandering, class 5 felony. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing is going to be a status conference, July 10th at 8:30. I'm going to release you to pretrial services. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Don't miss court. Mackenzie, come on in. Kai Jansen to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Mackenzie Raquel Martin McGritchie, September 22nd, 1999.
You have a municipal court new case for one count of shoplifting, removal of goods, one count of shoplifting concealment, both Class 1 misdemeanors. You're not entitled to a court-appointed lawyer. Your next hearing will be in arraignment, July 16th at 1 o'clock. I'm going to release you on your own promise to go to court. Let me just tell you, with shoplifting, if you're convicted of these and you do it another time, it's going to be a felony. And I will tell you, Maricopa County takes shoplifting very serious.
Okay.
Got it? Get your paperwork from the court staff. Kai Jensen, come on in. Juan Jensen to the chair outside the courtroom.
Jensen, podium. Yeah.
State your name and date of birth.
Kai Jansen, 0503-2007.
You have a municipal court new case for one count of shoplifting, Class 1 misdemeanor. You're not entitled to a court-appointed lawyer. Your next hearing will be in arraignment, July 16th at 1 o'clock. I am going to release you on your own promise to go to court. No returning to the alleged scene of the crime. Like I said to the other young lady, they take shoplifting very seriously here. All right? Get your paperwork. Juan Jensen, come on in. And then Ella Glavin to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Juan Jensen, February 17, 1997.
You have a municipal court new case alleging one kind of an assault, one kind of disorderly conduct. Those are both Class 1 misdemeanors. One kind of criminal damage, Class 2 misdemeanor. Do you live with your brother-in-law?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah. But I was gonna go to somewhere else to stay.
Okay. Do you need to go there to get your personal belongings?
Well, yeah.
Print this out again when I get done. Okay. All right, then now you can print it out again. So you have a El Mirage Municipal Court case alleging the assault, disorderly conduct, both Class 1 misdemeanors, and the criminal damage, Class 2 misdemeanor. You're going to have a lawyer appointed for you at your next hearing, which will be an arraignment, July 15th at 8:30. I'm going to release you on your own promise to go to court, but you cannot return to the alleged scene of the crime. No contact with any victims or witnesses. Now, at the bottom of your paperwork, I'm going to allow you to go there one time. You have to call local law enforcement. They'll meet you there. It's called a civil standby. Okay. They'll come, meet you there, you get your personal belongings, and then you leave. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, court staff's going to bring you your paperwork. And then can I have Ella? All right, state your name and date of birth.
Ella Govin, 6/30/1987.
Okay, you've got a fugitive of justice warrant from the state of Illinois. They want you back on these charges. Did you get an opportunity to read that?
Yes.
All right. You have a choice to make at this time. Choice number 1, you can choose to waive your right to an extradition hearing and be sent back to Illinois within 30 days. Choice number 2, you can demand an extradition hearing and that a governor's warrant be signed by the governors of both states before they send you back. Now, if you pick choice number 1, you waive your rights to an extradition hearing, you will be held no bond, you'll be held in our jail for a period of up to 30 days to allow time for Illinois to come get you. That 30 days would start tomorrow as long as you do not have any criminal charges pending against you anywhere in Arizona. If you do have criminal charges pending against you in Arizona, the 30-day period would not start until those charges are resolved. If you choose to have an extradition hearing, I would set a hearing in our courthouse. It would be on July 7th at 1:30. I cannot appoint an attorney to represent you because extradition matters are civil in nature, but you would have the right to hire an attorney at your own expense if you choose. Now, you are entitled to bail, but it would be around $50,000 cash. A governor's warrant signed by the governors of both states requiring to extradite you, that process can take up to 90 days. Do you know what you'd like to do?
Am I only offered the 50,000 cash bail if I choose option 2?
At this point, yeah, another judge might change the bail, but given that they were asking for no bond, which I can't do, I'm going to do the 50,000.
Okay, then I guess option 2.
Okay, I'm going to say you're not going to waive your right. This is happening again. Why is this? I can't do no waiver on this because this thing's here.
What's that, Commissioner?
I'm supposed to hit not waiving, no. Can you hit it? Does it, is he, I don't know why. So your next hearing is going to be July 7th, okay?
Okay.
Put no. See if that works. It says, please enter a selection for rights waiver. But see, this box is in the way. I don't understand it.
I'm not sure.
See, it's right here, and I can't move this.
Well, I checked no on there,
Okay,
but,
then if I try and save it,
yeah, let's see what it does.
shows to waive right.
No, we don't want that.
So it's gotta be, You hit no?
Yeah, I did. Yours looks different than mine, I don't know why you. Okay, hold on for a second.
Should I cancel and then see if you can hit the no again?
Yes, but her box is over.
I don't know why that box sits in there. What? Still can't hear you.
Anna's coming in. Anna's coming in to check it, but I don't know. What is that? Okay. So, she hit wage.
See this thing?
But that box is in the wage.
I can't click on it.
And I did it on mine, and let me see how many. This box where it was yes or no, yes, I hit no. And she said, I don't know, what is she trying to do? She's trying to contact there, but I don't I think, is your screen usually that big, Commissioner? Do you, have your screen light up, because it looks like it's zoomed in? Can I excuse the reach? Is this what you're talking about?
I need no, yeah.
Okay.
And then I need
Who's on the first one?
I can hardly read this.
Excuse me, reach. Is that better?
What the heck? Okay. That should work. Okay, they're gonna bring you your paperwork, but your next hearing is gonna be July 7th at 1:30. Okay?
And with,
They'll bring you your paperwork that way.
okay, and with the bond, I can, if I could bond out as
You
soon as I
can
have.
bond out, but it's cash.
Right,
Yep.
okay, thank you.
Okay. Then can I have, Sianji Bolden? All right, may I have your name and date of birth?
Tiana J. Bolden, 11/14/04.
Okay, you have a warrant here from the state of Florida. They want you back on these charges. Did you get an opportunity to read the paperwork?
Yes.
Okay. You have a choice to make at this time. Choice number one, you can waive your right to an extradition hearing and be sent back to Florida within 30 days. Option number two, you can demand an extradition hearing and then a governor's warrant be signed by the governors of both states before they can send you back. Now, if you choose to waive your right to an extradition hearing, you will be held non-bailable in the Maricopa County Jail for a period of up to 30 days for Illinois or Florida to come get you. The 30 days would start tomorrow as long as you do not have any criminal charges pending against you anywhere in Arizona. If you do have criminal charges pending against you in Arizona, the 30-day period would not start until those charges are resolved. Now, if you choose to have an extradition hearing, you don't want to waive, you're going to have a hearing on July the 7th at 1:30. I cannot appoint an attorney to represent you because extradition matters are civil in nature, but you would have the right to hire a lawyer at your own expense if you choose. You are entitled to bail, in which, in this case, it would be they're asking for $2,500 cash.
Florida?
Yeah.
No bondsman.
Pardon?
Like no bondsman, cash?
Cash. If you are unable to post that bond, you will be held in custody during this time or until another judge would modify your bail. A governor's warrant signed by the governors of both states required to extradite you, that can take up to 90 days. Do you know what you'd like to do?
So when you say if I have pending charges and stuff, I have court on the 2nd. So if they tell me I have to do certain time, or if I have a probation, that's when my time will start. After I have court on July 2nd?
I don't know.
Okay, so what is considered resolved?
Usually it's the end of your sentence, but I don't know how they would work that on here.
Okay.
If you want to wait to find out what's going to happen and talk with your lawyer, I'm assuming you have a lawyer for your pending charges?
I didn't even know about it.
She's got charges out of Chandler.
Out of who? Where?
Chandler.
Oh, their city?
Yeah. No, she's waiting on a court date on.
They're likely to be resolved earlier. Usually if they're in a city court, they're only misdemeanors. But you could wait, see what happens there, then have this hearing on the 7th, then you would know more about if it got resolved or not.
Yeah, and then if I wait for the hearing for the 7th, will I still be able to post the bail as that?
Yeah.
No?
You'd still have an opportunity to do the same thing or waive your right.
Okay.
So I can say that you're not going to waive your right. I'm going to set the bail at $2,500 cash, and then your next hearing on this is going to be on the 7th. Then you'll know what happened on the 2nd. You can change your mind, or this will stay the same.
And then if they have 30 days to come get me?
Correct. And if they don't come get you, you get released.
Okay, and then if I post bond and they come down here, then they...
If you post bond, then you gotta get there for your hearing.
Or they won't get their money back.
Well, if you don't show up, you don't get your money back.
Okay. Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna say you're not gonna waive your right, so you can find out what happens on the 2nd.
Yeah, because what does waive your right mean?
Well, waiving all your rights to have that governor's warrant. Okay? But the thing about it is right now, the time starts clicking. Okay? So between now and the 7th, the time starts running for them to get a governor's warrant.
So, like, what would, like, you suggest? Because I didn't even know about the warrant, like, for Florida. I don't know nothing, like, pertaining to it. Like, I don't even know how that, like, goes. And with the Chandler, it's my first, like, misdemeanor thing, so.
Yeah, this one is for grand theft. That's all I can tell you out of Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
That's what I can tell you what it is, but I don't know the circumstances. But I think at this point, you're not waiving your rights. You're going to have more information to make a good decision when you see the next fugitive of justice. The next judge you're going to see is somebody who's very well versed in how this works.
Okay.
Okay? And at that time, you can always change your mind and waive your right.
Okay.
And get there sooner. Or you can say, no, I'm going to make them get the governor's warrant, and that takes up to 90 days, but now that 90 days is starting. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Get your paperwork from the court staff. So these, Justin Martin and Anthony Brito, we did those, right?
I want to confirm that before I got.
Yeah, we did Justin Martin.
We're good?
Yeah, he was the one that said 50,000. And I said, yeah, you had a weapon. Yep, we did both of them. All right, so our house calls. Why is Julian Fernandez a house call, number 16?
Refusing to follow orders.
Refusing to follow orders?
Yes.
Julian Fernandez, date of birth 9/28 of 90. He's carrying a failure to appear warrant for unlawful flight from law enforcement, class 5 felony. He already has a court-appointed lawyer. His next hearing is going to be a status conference. July 2nd, 8:30, he missed sentencing, so pursuant to Arizona Criminal Rule of Procedure 7.2, he'll be held non-bailable. Ben Davis Jr., why is he a house call?
He was combative, Your Honor.
Combative. His date of birth is 3/18 of 1988. He's got 3 matters. The first one is the Superior Court new case alleging 1 count of possession of narcotic drug, class 4 felony, 1 count of aggravated assault, class 5 felony, 1 count of resisting arrest, class 6 felony. I've appointed a lawyer to represent him. His next hearing will be a status conference, July 2nd at 8:30. I set a $50,000 bond. The next 2 are both probation violations. He's on probation for 2 a class 6 and a class 3 felony. Probation is alleging he violated term 1. I've appointed a lawyer on both of these to represent him. Can you print these 2 out for me? Again, the probations. Because I forgot to put in the damn term ones. So, 32 is ready. And 33 is ready. So I've appointed a lawyer on both of these to represent him. His next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, July 2nd at 8:30, and pursuant to Arizona Criminal Rule of Procedure 7.2C, he'll be held non-bailable. And then lastly, Francisco Cuevado Alvarez. Is he a Spanish speaker?
No, he's not, Your Honor.
Okay. Why is he a house call?
He's on suicide watch.
All right, date of birth 2/15/2004. He has a Justice Court new case alleging one count of resisting arrest, Class 1 misdemeanor, one count of reckless driving, Class 2 misdemeanor, one count of failure to show driver's license, Class 3 misdemeanor. I've appointed a lawyer to represent him. His next hearing will be an arraignment July 1st at 8:30, and I've set a cash bond of $1,000. Jeez, that took a while. Oh, I don't like that. Good to meet you.
Please be seated. You can be seated. Thank you. Okay, you're gonna get a roll. Last 188425. Is that what we go to? Okay.
Oh, is there a reason this is on pause? Okay, that's all right, if there is. I'm sorry about that. Now we have an interpreter. Oh, great.
Perfect.
gotta go finish my house calls and then I'll be back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll try to get back, 'cause I know we got further stuff.
It's fun.
I got 5 minutes, I'll try to get back to you.
Three conversations. Alright, so now number 12 is now. Sorry.
Good morning. This is the 11 a.m. initial appearance calendar for June 26, 2025. The court's orders for the taking of DNA and fingerprints that were given on the first calendar of this month shall apply to all matters on this calendar. Before we begin, I would like to remind everyone that whatever you say in this hearing is being recorded as well as being broadcasted. So please do not discuss the facts of your case. In this hearing today, we'll present the allegations against you, whether or not counsel has been appointed, when your next hearing date is and where, and if there are release conditions available to you that will also be presented. I will be calling people one by one. The first name I'll call should come up and stand in front of the podium. I'll ask you for your name and date of birth. The second person I call should sit by the door in the chair that's by the door. Thank you. Okay. Oh, I need to bring it up. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Would Devon Roper please come to the podium, and Nicholas Costello have a seat by the door? This is the podium. State your name and date of birth.
Davion Jamez Roper, 72194, ma'am.
You're here today on a Superior Court probation violation warrant. An attorney has been assigned to you. The probation violation was a Class 6 felony. And because of ACRP, which is the Arizona Criminal Rules of Procedure 7.2, you are not eligible for release at this time. Your next hearing will be a probation revocation arraignment hearing on July 2nd at 8:30 a.m. downtown. This information will be on your paperwork, which court staff will provide to you. Please take a seat. Nicholas Costello, please come to the podium. Ruslan Abrazimov, please have a seat by the door. State your name and date of birth.
Nicholas Costello, August 3rd, 1996.
Good morning. You're here today on two matters. One is a new Superior Court case.
Okay.
And it involves 3 counts of organized retail theft, which is a Class 4 felony, drug paraphernalia possession and use, a Class 1 misdemeanor, reckless driving, a Class 2 misdemeanor. The court's appointed an attorney for you for your next hearing, which will be on July 2nd, downtown at 8:30 in the morning.
Okay.
A secured appearance bond is set for you in this first matter of $10,000. If you do make that bond, you are not to return to the alleged scene of the crime, have contact with the alleged victims, complainant, witnesses, arresting officers, or any contact with the co-defendant if there is one in this case. You did violate terms of your probation 1, 3, 6, 7, 11, 12, and 16. And so in the second case before the court, which is a Superior Court probation violation warrant, you are not eligible for release. because of all those violations that I just read off.
Okay.
And having this new term 1 violation. There is a hearing set for you on July 2nd, 8:30 in the morning. It's a revocation arraignment with a possible disposition. An attorney has been appointed for you. All of this is on your paperwork. The court staff will provide that to you. Please step to your left.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Andrew Murray, please come to the podium. After that, Baldmore Lopez, please have a seat by the door. Please state your name and date of birth.
Andrew Maury, August 6th, 1982.
You're here today on a new Superior Court case, as well as one other matter. It is a municipal court warrant, so we'll take one at a time. The new Superior Court case is alleging that you left the scene of an accident, which is a Class 3 felony, and then endangerment, which is a Class 6 felony. This court did find probable cause and appointed an attorney for you for your next hearing, which is a status conference on July 2nd at 8:30 in the morning downtown. A bond has been set for you. It's $50,000 secured, which means you could use a bail bondsman for that. If you make bond in that case, do not return to the scene of the alleged crime. Contact the alleged witnesses, victims, complainants, or arresting officers. And if an order of protection or an order of harassment is issued against you, make sure to comply with those court orders. Your second case, which is the municipal court warrant, is out of Peoria Municipal Court. And there, no attorney has been appointed for you because of the nature of the charges. They are disorderly conduct, which is a Class 1 misdemeanor. If you wish to have an attorney, you'll need to hire one yourself for that hearing. That hearing is currently set if you are in custody for July 1st. If you are not in custody, it's July 15th. Both those dates will be on your paperwork. In this case, I did set a $25 secured bond, and the reason I did that is just in case you are still in custody, the sheriff's office will take you to Peoria for that hearing, so you won't miss another hearing in a different court. So if you don't pay your other bond, don't pay this one, because then they'll transport you. Okay, make sure again the same restrictions apply if you do get out. No contact with the alleged victim, witness, or arresting officer. All the rest of your terms and conditions are on the paperwork. Please step to your left.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
As far as the, you said a $50,000 secured bond, what is it like?
So that would be between you and a bail bondsman to get a secured bond. So more information is provided to you in the detention facility.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Baldmer Lopez Mendez, please come to the podium, and Holton Stevens, have a seat by the door. And counsel for the state, whenever it's one that you want, just wave at me.
I'm just here for the moment, counsel.
Okay, thank you. Please state your name and date of birth.
Baldemar Lopez Mendez, March 7, 2003.
Thank you. You're here today on a new Superior Court case. There have been allegations against you of possessing weapons, and you are a prohibited possessor, which is a Class 4 felony. This court has found probable cause for these allegations, and so a hearing has been set July 2nd at 8:30 in the morning. An attorney has been assigned to help you, and there is a cash-only appearance bond of $100,000. If you are able to make that bond, do not return to the scene of the alleged crime. Contact the alleged victims, witnesses, or arresting officer, and the rest of the information about your conditions of release will be on your paperwork. Please have a seat.
Thank you.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I was gonna tell the deputy.
That's okay.
Okay, we are.
At this time, we'll go ahead and call Ruslan Abrasimov to the podium.
I have to wait for the other officer.
Oh, wait, go back.
Okay, sorry, just one moment, thank you.
Apologies.
Lopez Mendez?
Okay. If you don't mind taking a seat, we'll go ahead and help with someone else, and then we'll get right back to you as soon as the second officer is available.
No problem.
Holton Stevens, please come to the podium. And after that, Ronnie Dominguez, have a seat by the door. Good morning. State your name and date of birth.
Holton Stevens, August 1st, 1994.
You're here today on a new Superior Court case. The allegations against you are defacing a deadly weapon, a Class 6 felony, possessing a deadly weapon, which is defaced, which is a Class 6 felony, as well as carrying a deadly weapon but failing to admit that to law enforcement, which is a Class 1 misdemeanor. I've appointed an attorney for you.
Thank you.
And your next hearing will be on July 2nd at 8:30 in the morning downtown. A secured appearance bond has been set, so that means you can use a bail bondsman. It's $15,000. I've also ordered pretrial services supervision to assist you in getting to court if you make that bond. If you do make the bond, do not possess any weapons between now and your next court date. The rest of the terms and conditions are all on your paperwork. Please step to your left. Ronnie Dominguez, please come to the podium. Alexander Del Toro, have a seat by the door. Please state your name and date of birth.
Sunny Lynn Dominguez, April 8, 1981.
You're here today on a new Superior Court case. The allegations against you are trafficking in stolen property, which is a Class 2 felony, burglary, Class 3 felony, theft from a vulnerable adult, Class 3 felony, taking an identity of another, Class 4 felony, and theft of credit card or use of a credit card that's not yours, Class 5 felony. In this case, there were victim statements, and I have considered that. An attorney has been appointed for you. Your next hearing is July 2nd at 8:30 in the morning. This court is inclined to set a secured appearance bond of $15,000 due to the nature of these crimes. If you do make that bond, you are not to return to the scene of the alleged crime or have any contact with the alleged victim, complainants, witnesses, or arresting officer. If there is an order against harassment issued against you, make sure to comply with that court order as well. All of this information, including the dates and times, are on your paperwork. Please step to your left. Alexander Del Toro, please come to the podium. Elise Sherban, please have a seat by the door.
Alexander Del Toro, Martin Del Toro, 72177.
Thank you. You're here today on an out-of-county warrant. This is a child support warrant. So you will have to pay this in order to get out of jail. It's called a purge warrant. It's in the amount of $925, and you have to pay it in cash.
Okay.
It's from Yavapai County, so you're familiar with it.
Yeah.
Okay. All this information will be printed on your paperwork.
That's it?
Yeah, you just have to pay your warrant. You do have conditions of release, so make sure you read over those. But mostly it's keep your address updated,
Yeah.
Don't drive without a license, kind of the standard conditions.
Okay.
Okay, please step to your left.
Thank you.
Elise Turban, please come to the podium. Nawakima Pula, please have a seat by the door. Please state your name and date of birth.
Elise Turbin, 32471.
Thank you. You're here today on a Superior Court probation violation warrant. So it looks like you have violated terms 3 and 5 of your probation. And you were just here in April, and they set a bond for you of $500, and then you still didn't show up for what you needed to do. So today, this court is going to set a bond. It's a secured bond of $1,000. Each time you don't show up to your probation hearings and a warrant gets issued, it's going to get worse. So please go. If you're able to pay for your secured bond, the $1,000, there is a hearing set for you, July 2nd, 8:30 in the morning. I have assigned an attorney to you. But if you are able to get released, make sure to call your probation officer within 72 hours and then make sure to go to your hearing. I don't want to see you back here, okay? It's all on your paperwork. Please step to your left. Thank you. Nawakima Pu'ula, please come to the podium. After that, Haley Vinson. Please have a seat by the door. Nawakima Pu'ula. I might be saying your name wrong. Here we go. Okay. They're coming. Please state your name and date of birth.
Pua, 123702.
Thank you. You're here today on a Superior Court bench warrant for failure to appear. The failure to appear warrant is affirmed at $500 cash only. If you do make that bond, there are conditions of your release, and I have appointed an attorney for you. The reason why you have this is because you are on charges of burglary in the 3rd degree, which is a Class 4 felony. Your next hearing is July 2nd at 8:30 in the morning. So just to recap, it's a bench warrant failure to appear for a Class 4 felony charges. I've appointed an attorney for you for your July 2nd, 8:30 a.m. hearing, and your bond is cash only at $500. All of this will be on your paperwork. Please step to your left. Hold on, bud. Hold on. Guys, move down, please. Move down. Move down. Safety court has traffic. Okay, Haley Vinson, please come to the podium. After that, Jonathan Leyva, have a seat by the door. State your name and date of birth.
Haley Vinson, 4/26/98.
You're here today on 3 issues. There's 3 matters before this court. First is an out-of-county warrant, and it's for dangerous drug possession use, which is a felony, drug paraphernalia, also a felony, and then driving on a suspended license, which is a misdemeanor. This is out of Pinal County, and they did issue a warrant, which this court is affirming. It's a secured bond of $1,500. There are conditions on your release. Don't drive without a valid license, and there's a few more. They're all written on your paperwork. Your next matter is a Superior Court new case. This one is for narcotic drug possession, Class 4 felony, theft or control of lost or damaged property, or excuse me, not damaged, but theft and control of lost property. That's a Class 1 misdemeanor. And then prostitution, Class 1 misdemeanor. So on these, I put a placeholder bond. It's $50. And what that means is if you're unable to bond out on the other 2 matters, that the MCSO will transport you to your hearing. I did appoint an attorney for you in this hearing. It's downtown on July 2nd at 8:30 in the morning. Your last matter is also an out-of-county warrant. This one's from the Pioneer Justice Court, but it comes through Pinal County again. This one is asking for $895. So get this taken care of. You may want to give them a call and find out. If you are in custody, MCSO will help with the transportation. Your hearing there is actually on July 1st at 8:30 in the morning. All the conditions of your release are printed on your paperwork as well as with the varying amount.
Okay.
Okay, please step to your left. Jonathan Leyva, please come to the podium. Ryan Ward, have a seat by the door. State your name and date of birth.
Jonathan Guadalupe Leivas, January 9, 1992.
You're here today on 2 matters. They are both Superior Court probation violation warrants. Looks like this one is a Class 2 felony for your probation there that was violated. I've assigned an attorney for you, and your next hearing will be July 2nd. It's a revocation arraignment with a possible disposition, 8:30 in the morning downtown. The bond, I did affirm the probation JO's requested bond, which was $1,000. There are terms and conditions to your release, or excuse me, your conditions and restrictions. Your probation terms that you violated for this warrant were terms 3 and 5. On the second warrant, the same, I have appointed an attorney for you. July 2nd, 8:30 is the hearing date. This one is a $500 secured bond. And again, terms 3 and 5 of your probation were violated. If you do make these bonds, make sure to contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release, and then please go to your hearings, or they will just issue more warrants. All right, all that information is on your paperwork. If you will just step to your left. One moment, sir. Thank you.
Any available officer to 25 JP Court.
Okay.
No.
Ryan Ward, go ahead and come in. And then Colton Mortensen, please have a seat by the door. State your name and date of birth.
Ryan Ward, 5599.
You're here today on a Superior Court failure to appear bench warrant, and it's for charges of aggravated DUI, which is a Class 4 felony, narcotic drug possession use, Class 4 felony, as well as drug paraphernalia and use, Class 6 felony. There is a secured appearance bond set for you today of $250, as well as pretrial services ordered to assist you in getting to your next hearing. An attorney has been appointed to you, and your next hearing is July 2nd at 8:30 in the morning if you're in custody. If you're not in custody, it's at the same time, so just one to remember. Because you are on probation, if you make this bond, make sure to contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. All of this is on your paperwork. Please step to your left. Colton Mortensen, please come to the podium. And after that, Heather Jones, have a seat by the door. State your name and date of birth.
Colton Mortensen, June 29th, 1987.
You're here today on a Superior Court failure to appear bench warrant, so you didn't go when you were supposed to go. And it's for charges of dangerous drugs, possession, which is a Class 4 felony. I've appointed an attorney for you at your next hearing, which is July 2nd at 8:30 in the morning. I have affirmed the drug court. So you were in the drug court program.
Yeah.
That's a really good program. So you need to make sure to go and follow through, because that's unique, right? Not everybody gets to do drug court.
Okay.
So they have set a cash-only bond of $100.
That's it?
But you need to go, or they're going to issue another warrant. It's going to be more next time.
Okay.
Also, you need to call your probation officer within 72 hours of being released. So if you make your bond, your cash-only $100 bond, make sure to follow all of the conditions of release, including no drugs without a valid prescription, no alcohol, and keep your address updated if you have an address, right?
Okay.
So it's really important you go. Drug court is special. Not everybody gets to do it, and we want you to be successful. So go to drug court, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All that information is on your paperwork. Heather Jones, please come to the podium. Keith Cornelius, have a seat by the door. State your name and date of birth.
Heather Jones, 32390.
You're here today on a Superior Court probation violation warrant. It looks like, I'm looking to see, I wanted to tell you why they sent it out. You violated terms 3 and 5 of your probation. So that means you didn't report in as directed 3 different times. And then also, you didn't live the place that you told them that you lived. And when they tried to contact you, they couldn't. So this is going to keep happening unless you keep up to date with your probation officer. The court today is setting a cash-only bond of $100, okay? But you are not to possess any weapons, drugs without a valid prescription. You must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release if you make that bond. All that information will be provided to you in your paperwork. Please step to your left. We're going to skip back in the calendar for just one moment, calling Ruslan Abrasimov to the podium. State your name and date of birth.
My name is Ruslan Abrasimov, 8/11/1988.
Thank you. I understand there is counsel here today. Please state your appearance.
Good morning, I think it's still morning. Good morning, Your Honor. John Hager on behalf of Mr. Abrasimov, who is present and in custody. And I'll be his attorney of record for all future proceedings as well, not just the IA.
Great. So today he's here on a Superior Court arrest warrant, ag assault, which is a Class 3 felony, endangerment, Class 6 felony, disorderly conduct, which is a Class 6 felony. I believe the state would like to be heard.
Thank you, Honor. Brooke Gahn on behalf of the state. The state had intended to ask for a higher bond. This is obviously an arrest warrant issued after a failed summons, but the state was concerned that the allegations involved the use of a firearm. The state is aware these are allegations from November of 2019, so a significant period of time. However, given that he has counsel, so I think there's not, but that at least lessens the concern that he is not going to appear for future hearings in the case. And given the length of time, the state would just request that the court affirm the $100 bond. Additionally, the state would request pretrial services along with electronic monitoring. Thank you.
Thank you. Counsel?
Your Honor, I would agree in part with the state. Obviously, I'm not going to object to a $100 bond and not object to pretrial services either. I'd like to address the issue of electronic monitoring, but before that, I'd like to back up and talk a little bit about Mr. Abrasimov. First of all, Your Honor, procedurally and personally, on a personal note, I've known Mr. Abrasimov for over 10 years now. It's not that, I got a call from his family early this morning or yesterday when he was arrested and then he just hired me. His family knows my family. We've had meals together, that kind of thing. I don't believe that electronic monitoring is necessary or even appropriate. He will be coming to every single future court date. Either if he has to spend the night at my house or if I have to pick him up from his house, he's going to show up at every future court date. He's a strong member of the community. He attends the same church I attend. He does extensive volunteer work. He's been living at the same address for over 30 years. He's a father of 2 minor children.
Sole custody.
And he has, that's right, he does have sole custody of those children as well. He's a 2028 Olympic hopeful for fencing. An ankle bracelet monitoring. He does competitions. He does matches, and he also coaches. He also volunteers to coach. I think that would be more of a hindrance in terms of looking at the least restrictive scenario for him to attend the next court date. I don't believe ankle monitoring or GPS is necessary in this case. If this was a different offense, sex crimes related, I get it, but it's not. His whereabouts will be known by me at all times, every single day moving forward until this matter is resolved. This did happen over half a decade ago. He has no priors at all, no FTAs at all. And since then, he's had no negative law enforcement contact. He's had no law enforcement contact for over half a decade, which goes to his character of who he is and why an ankle bracelet wouldn't be necessary in this case. Not pretrial services, fine, all day long.
Thank you, counsel.
Thank you.
All right, this court has heard arguments from both the state and council on behalf of Mr. Abrasimov. And the court's orders are as follows. You will have a next hearing on July 10th at 8:30 in the morning downtown. The information will be printed on the release paperwork. You will be released today under supervised release with PSA supervision. That means they're going to contact you and remind you about things, but it sounds like you also have a personal friend who will help you with that as well. Most importantly, on the conditions of restrictions of release, do not return to the scene of the alleged crime. I understand it's been some time, but don't go back. Also, do not have contact with the alleged victims, witnesses, complainants, arresting officers, and do not possess any weapons between now and your next court date. Please don't have any drugs without a valid prescription. Drive without a valid license. Make sure to keep your address updated both with your attorney and with the court. It's really important. One of the strongest arguments is that you have no failures to appear yet. Don't start. All of that will be printed on your paperwork.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Keith Cornelius, please come to the podium. And counsel, you may be excused if you're finished. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Please state your name and date of birth.
Keith Cornelius, 4/30/1986.
You're here today on a new Superior Court case.
Okay.
It's been alleged that you had narcotic drugs in your possession, which is a Class 4 felony, and that you had drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony.
Yes, Your Honor.
This court did find probable cause and appointed an attorney to represent you in your next hearing, which is July 2nd at 8:30 in the morning.
Yes.
This court has set a secured appearance bond. That means you can use a bail bondsman for $900.
Okay.
Also, PSA monitoring, which is drug testing and monitoring through pretrial services. Now make sure to get pretrial services. They're going to offer you things like bus passes and reminders to go to your hearings. Take advantage of that because you don't want to have a failure to appear. Also, in your release conditions, do not use or possess any drugs without a valid prescription. And keep your contact information updated with the court. It appears that this one, don't go back. Don't go back to the alleged scene of the crime. That's not a good place for you to be, okay? So all of this is written out in your paperwork. Please step to your left.
And I have very little money. Is there a way I can lessen the bond?
So it's $900 secured, so you can use a bail bondsman.
I have no way to get money, so is there a way I can get any lower amount of money? It would be helping for my mother.
I appreciate your argument, sir, but we're going to keep it at $900 secured.
So if I go to a bail bondsman, then what I don't understand how much do I have to pay?
So they'll explain it to you. You can make a collect call in the jail to a bail bondsman and ask them for terms.
Okay, will I be going to the release right here so I can make a phone call, or what's going on?
The DOs will explain it to you. They're going to give you your paperwork, and then they're going to tell you where to go next.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Jack Daniel, please come to the podium. Jailise Kilgo, have a seat by the door. Jack Daniel.
Jack Daniel.
There's...
Jack Daniel, come on.
Thank you for your patience today as we get through this long calendar. Please say your name and date of birth.
Jack David Daniel, 8/16/1977.
Thank you. You're here today on 3 separate matters. There's a new Superior Court case, and then there are 2 probation violation warrants for you. In your new case, it has been alleged that you had dangerous drugs in your possession, which is a Class 4 felony. It was also alleged you had drug paraphernalia, which is a Class 6 felony. This court did find probable cause and appointed an attorney for you for your next hearing, which is July 2nd at 8:30 in the morning. Bond has been set at $900 secured bond. That means you can use a bail bondsman, but you are not to go back or not to have contact with your arresting officers. Let me just check your other two cases. Yeah, okay. All three are the same. They're all going to be $900 secure bond. So for the other two, they are for probation violation hearings, and that's because you violated your probation term. And the hearing for that is set for July 2nd at 8:30 in the morning. I have appointed an attorney for you. The violation of your probation is term 1, which says you can't have any new allegations of criminal activity while you're on probation. So by catching this new case, your probation, both cases are now violated, and that's what happened here. All three of these are secured bonds, so you can use a bail bondsman. On all of them, if you do make your bond and get out, contact your probation officer within 72 hours. All of this is on your paperwork. Please step to your left. Jaylise Kilgo, please come to the podium. Shaquita Green, have a seat by the door. State your name and date of birth.
Jaylise Kilgo, June 18, 2003.
You're here today on a new Superior Court case. There are allegations of violating a court order. So there was an order of protection that had been issued, and when you were pulled over, the person in that order was sitting next to you. So this court is inclined to release you on what's called supervised release, where pretrial services will kind of keep track of you and help you get to your next hearing. An attorney has been appointed for you. Your next hearing is July 10th at 8:30 in the morning. Make sure you go to that. Make sure you get this taken care of. Now, here's what's really important. That court order is still in effect. So do not violate that order of protection. Don't have any contact with the alleged victim, alleged complainant, any witnesses. All of this will be on your paperwork. Please step to your left.
Thank you.
Shaquita Green, please come to the podium. David Johnson, have a seat by the door. Please state your name and date of birth.
Shaquita Green, 11/9/95.
You're here today on a new Superior Court case of allegations of both narcotic and dangerous drug possession, Class 4 felonies, as well as paraphernalia use or possession, Class 6 felony. I've appointed an attorney for you to go to you with your next hearing on July 10th at 8:30 in the morning. This court is inclined to release you today on supervised release with drug testing and monitoring. So that means pretrial services is going to set up drug testing with you, and you need to make sure to do those. And then they're going to try to help you with the bus pass and phone call reminders to get you to your next hearing, okay? Go to those so that you don't get any more warrants issued. All your conditions of release are on your paperwork. Please step to your left. Okay. David Johnson, please come to the podium. Jose Torres, have a seat by the door. Please state your name and date of birth.
David Lee Johnson, 4/23/1987.
Thank you. You're here today on a new Justice Court case. This is out of the Ironwood Justice Court, and it's been alleged that you were driving on a suspended or canceled license, which is a Class 1 misdemeanor, and that you failed to stop for the police, which is a Class 2 misdemeanor. So you're not entitled to court-appointed attorney because they're misdemeanors in Justice Court. But you do have a hearing set, and that is on July 15th at 9 a.m. So you definitely need to go, and if you want to hire an attorney for those charges to represent you, you can do that or you can represent yourself. Today, the court is inclined to release you on your promise to go to that hearing.
I will.
Okay. There are conditions of your release, like don't contact the arresting officer, don't drive without a valid license.
Okay.
Okay, so all of that's on your paperwork. Please step to your left.
Thank you, ma'am.
Jose Torres, please come to the podium. Mackenzie Arnold, have a seat by the door.
Hi.
State your name and date of birth.
Jose Zenobio Torres, 8/4/1958.
Thank you. You're here today on a justice court warrant that was alleging that you were driving under the influence, which is a misdemeanor if it's in the slightest degree. So those are the allegations. There is a hearing set for you on July 15th at 8:30 in the morning. I am not allowed to appoint counsel for you because, let me just double check something. One moment, please. I'm just going to double check something. You have already been adjudicated in this case, so you already went through the trial for this DUI in justice court, but you haven't paid all your fines. So justice court wants you to come and finish paying them, okay? That is in West Mesa Justice Court. It will all be on your paperwork. Sir, I feel the court is inclined to release you on your promise that you will go to justice court and get this sorted out.
I will.
Okay. There are a few more conditions of release. They're all printed on your paperwork. Please step to your left.
Thank you.
Mackenzie Arnold, please come to the podium. Edward, oh, yep, that's it. Okay. After that will be Calvin Phillips. Please state your name and date of birth.
Mackenzie Arnold, 12/10/05.
You're here today on a new municipal court case. This is out of Peoria Municipal Court. There have been allegations of disorderly conduct and fighting, which is a Class 1 misdemeanor, assault, Class 2 misdemeanor, and criminal damage, Class 2 misdemeanor. Because these are misdemeanors out of municipal court, no attorney is appointed for you by statute. We don't have that authority. But you can hire an attorney to represent you yourself, or you can represent yourself at justice court, municipal court. Your hearing is going to be July 15th at 9 a.m. So this court is inclined to let you go today on your promise that you will go to that hearing. Okay. There are conditions to your release, and some of those conditions include not going back to the scene of the crime, not having contact with any alleged victims, witnesses, complainants, or the arresting officer. And making sure if there is any order of harassment issued against you, that you follow it, or if there's an order of protection. Do you understand what those are? It's like a keep-away situation. Do you reside at that location? Is that your residence?
I live in a group home.
Okay.
And I have no...
And that's where it happened, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You're not allowed to go back. You need to find a new place to live, and you need to let the court know what your new address is when you go to your next hearing. But I did include in your orders what's called a civil standby, and that's where you can call the Peoria PD and ask them to go with you to collect any necessary belongings. So you have to ask in advance, and they'll set up a time with you, and you can go with the law enforcement officer to collect things. And you can usually only do it one time. So set that up in order to retrieve anything that you need, but then you do have to live somewhere else until your next hearing date.
I am supposed to go back to a new group home at 1.
Okay, so if you have a new place to go, that's really good. Okay. If you don't have a new place to go, you need to call your case manager and sort that out.
Okay.
All right. All of that's on your paperwork. Please step to your left. Okay, the last in-person one, I believe, is going to be Philip Calvin. One moment, sir.
Okay.
May I have your name and date of birth?
Calvin Phillips, 5/9/1962.
A warrant for your arrest has been issued by the state of North Dakota.
Yes.
That state wants you back on this warrant. Before court, you were given some paperwork to review on a laminated card. Did you read that paperwork?
Yes.
So as I stated, you have a warrant from the state of North Dakota. You have a choice to make it this time. You can choose to waive your right to an extradition hearing and be sent back to the requesting state within 30 days, or you can demand an extradition hearing, and then a governor's warrant will be signed by the governors of both states before you're sent back to North Dakota. If you choose to waive your right to an extradition hearing, you would be held non-bondable in Maricopa County Jail for a period of up to 30 days to allow the requesting state to come for you. That 30 days would start tomorrow, as long as you do not have any criminal charges pending against you anywhere in Arizona. If you do have criminal charges pending against you in Arizona, then the 30-day period would not start until those are resolved. If you choose to have an extradition hearing, I would set your hearing date and tell you the courthouse, but I can't appoint an attorney for you because extradition matters are civil nature. So you do have a right to hire a lawyer if you choose. You are entitled to bail, which in this case would be the amount of $100,000 cash only. But if you're unable to post your bail, you'd be held in custody until your extradition hearing, or until another judge modifies your bail. So a governor's warrant is signed by the governors of both states, and it requires to extradite you to North Dakota, and that process may take up to 90 days.
Before I get to North Dakota? It might take up 90 days before I make it to North Dakota?
Before they sign the warrant and then come get you. So if you waive your right to the extradition hearing, you'll be held for up to 30 days at MCSO while they come get you. If you say no, then you have a right to bond here in Arizona, but the bond is set at $100,000 cash. So if you don't make that bond, you'll stay in jail either until your hearing, the extradition hearing, or until you can make bond. And I'll set the extradition hearing right away. I just can't appoint an attorney to you. But then they have, after the hearing, if they find that they should have extradition, they have 90 days to get the warrant signed by both governors, Arizona and North Dakota, and then they come get you. So do you want to waive, or do you want me to set bond?
I don't understand when you're saying waive. So
if you waive your right to a hearing for extradition, you're saying North Dakota, come and get me, and they have to do it within 30 days.
Okay, yeah. So they will have to do it in 30 days. Okay, I'll have to.
Okay, so we're going to say that you did waive your right. So I have to read you something. I understand at this time you do want to sign the waiver of extradition. I need to ask you some questions as I am making a record of this proceeding. Did you read the waiver of extradition paperwork?
Yes.
Do you understand you do not have to sign the paperwork?
Yes.
Do you understand you have the right to an extradition hearing?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to hire a lawyer at your own expense?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to demand a governor's warrant be signed by the governor of both states before your return?
Yes.
Do you understand you have the right to bail?
Yes.
Do you want to give up those rights and sign the paperwork?
Oh.
You have to say it audibly.
I'm confused. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm just so confused. But okay, I need. So by me waiving my rights, what does that mean then? I'm saying I'm guilty?
No. The only right that you're waiving is for the civil extradition hearing, where North Dakota has to come and talk to Arizona and say, we want to take him back to North Dakota, you should honor our warrant.
Yeah.
So that's a civil case.
Okay, it was another question. By me waiving my rights, you said that they could, I don't know. I don't know.
If you waive your right, you'll be in MCSO custody for 30 days, up to 30 days.
Right.
And North Dakota will have to arrange to come and get you within those 30 days.
So what if I wanted to do a hearing here? You said a hearing?
If you ask for a hearing,
Uh-huh.
then I'll set your bond at $100,000 cash. If you make bond, just make sure you come back to the hearing. If you don't make bond, you'll be here, you'll be at MCSO until the hearing. And then depending on what happens at the hearing, if they say yes, you should be extradited, then there's another 90 days for the governors to both sign the warrant to extradite you.
So when will my hearing be? Would it be?
If you say that you waive your right, then I would set your hearing for July 7th at 1:30 in the afternoon.
That means I'll go back to court.
Right.
And it's up to them to come and get me. Then I still will have another 90 days. No, I'm not gonna go ahead and waive my right.
Okay, so let me keep going because I have
Okay.
to ask you all the questions.
Okay.
Do you understand that you have the right to bail?
Yes.
Do you want to give up those rights and sign the paperwork?
Yes.
Has anyone threatened you or promised you anything to get you to sign the paperwork?
No.
Have you had any drugs, alcohol, or medication within the last 24 hours?
No.
I find that you knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily are signing the waiver, and I am also signing it. I am directing the Sheriff's Office to notify the requesting state that you are ready to return. The requesting state will have 30 days from tomorrow to pick you up unless there are local charges pending. If there are local charges, the 30 days will start at the conclusion of that case. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. So I'll sign this. Okay, does it show complete? Okay.
She tells you, when she tells you she's ready.
Go ahead with the first signature, Mr. Kelly.
Huh?
Go ahead with the first signature.
Is that the initial?
Mine, yes. One more time, go ahead. Thank you, I'll give it to your answer.
I'll bring it to you.
Okay. And then officers, it looks like we have Edward Bennett, Sean Olson as house calls.
Yes.
And then just yes or no, do they pose an immediate danger to court staff themselves or others?
Yes, they do.
Okay. All right, so I'll just read into the record. Edward Bennett, date of birth 2/1/1980, Superior Court arrest warrant. It's a direct complaint with allegations of dangerous drug class 4, narcotic drug possession class 4, drug paraphernalia possession class 6 felony, and then DUI possibly under drugs class 1 misdemeanor. This court did find probable cause, and an attorney was appointed. The first hearing is July 2nd downtown at 8:30 in the morning. A secured bond has been set, $900 based on prior felony convictions, as well as PSA supervision. The conditions and restrictions of release do apply. This will be presented to Mr. Bennett next back of house or next to his cell. If there are any changes, they'll be reflected in the written order. I do not intend to return to this recording. Mr. Sean Olson has 3 pending matters. The first one is a new Superior Court case where it's alleged that he was using a vapor substance, class 5 felony, had drug paraphernalia, class 6 felony, and he has looks like I forgot to check some boxes. So I'm going to edit this one because I need to give him an attorney. An attorney will be appointed to him. And a secured bond in this first case is set at $500, as well as PSA supervision. In his second case, it is for probation violation warrant, which is a $500 secured bond due to repeated probation violations. And the last one for him is also a $500 secured bond. He did violate term 1 of his probation when he had new allegations against him, which was item number 33. He is instructed to contact his probation officer within 72 hours if he does post bond, and to, of course, go to his court hearing. There will be, if there are any changes in person back at the cell, they will be reflected in the written orders, and I do not intend to return to this recording. At this time, the 11 a.m.